Since the Christchurch mosque shootings 2 weeks ago, New Zealand's government has been calling on social media platforms to take responsibility for any hate speech posted on their platforms. Well, now Facebook has announced it'll make changes to its services next week and on Instagram. Now, the company says it's always blocked hateful comments about people based on their race, ethnicity, or religion. But it'll also ban any praise, support, or representation of white nationalism and white separatism. In a statement, the company says we didn't originally apply the same rationale to expressions of white nationalism and white separatism because we were thinking about broader concepts of nationalism and separatism, things like American pride and Basque separatism, which are an important part of people's identity. But over the past 3 months, our conversations with members of civil society and academics who are experts in race relations around the world have confirmed that white nationalism and white separatism cannot be meaningfully separated from white supremacy and organized hate groups. While using content moderators, machine learning, and artificial intelligence to find and remove hate speech, the company says it'll also start directing people to resources that counter white supremacist ideology based on their searches. Now, New Zealand's Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, has welcomed the decision, but says she wants greater action internationally and the international community to press forward with a conversation about whether or not enough has been done so that no one will have to learn those lessons again.
Facebook has taken steps to extend its application of hate speech to prohibit the promotion and support of white nationalism and white separatism. Arguably, these categories should always have fallen within the community guidelines of hate speech, but nevertheless, it's positive that clarification has now been made in the wake of the attack here in Christchurch.
So this brings up a lot of questions. What about the other platforms? Facebook owns WhatsApp. Will its AI dip into our messages? What about YouTube and Twitter, anti-Semitism and Islamophobia? Now, the organization We Counter Hate says anti-Muslim speech spiked after the shootings on Twitter. Retweets of anti-Muslim hate speech jumped 91% in the 3 days after the shootings, while likes increased by more than 125%. Some people seem to think that activity is private. It's not. And as bad as those statistics look at this. Anti-Muslim hate speech increased 800% on Twitter in the 3 days following the shootings. Now, We Counter Hate has built a hate speech fighting machine that works to counter white supremacy on Twitter. Its artificial intelligence identifies hateful comments like this one and replies to them, and then millions of other hateful tweets each and every year. And then the organization uses them to raise money for charity.